we're going to be doing a video of what I think were the best movies of the 2010 eras, from 2010 to 2019. Please enjoy and enjoy the video. In 2010, there was Toy Story 3, definitely the best movie of 2010. Do I have to say why? Well, the best Toy Story, best animation, best characters, the most emotional ending I've seen in a long time. And I think that's why I really love Toy Story 3 for how it was. Great movie from Pixar Animation Studios, and it will still go to infinity and beyond for a long time to come. In 2011, Kung Fu Panda 2 surprised me the most. I think this is the only year where Pixar didn't win because they released Cars 2. But Kung Fu Panda 2 proves that they can be better than the original, go more deeper, darker, and make a perfect sequel. And that's why I have respect for the director for that she made something so incredible, so magnificent, and I love it to this day. Skadoosh. In 2012, Rich Moore and everyone at Disney made Wreck-It Ralph. And that was something so phenomenal, fantastic, and such creative moments in this movie. I really did enjoy for how it was. The story was so magnificent. A lot of video game references here and there. And indeed, one of the best relationship between friends of Ralph and Vanellope. And I think that's why Wreck-It Ralph truly deserved that medal for best movie and animated film of 2012 for proving something so magnificent that we'll love it no matter what. In 2013, many people will call this one the most overrated Disney movie or even one of the worst. But I will have to say it's one of the most magical and best looking animation movies that Disney has ever done in a long time. I'm pretty proud that they accomplished the impossible. They took a long time trying to make this movie, and they did it so fantastic. The story is great, the animation is beautiful, the characters, the sister relationship between Anna and Elsa is phenomenal. Despite of me having a few issues with the movie, I still loved it no matter what. In 2014, a first time where Pixar did not release a movie because due to delays and stuff going on in their studio with their movies. Until this movie came out, and I loved it even more than the first film. How to Train Your Dragon 2 was indeed a true successor to the original. Dean DeBoy and everyone at DreamWorks Animation did such a good job with this one. I loved it for how good and phenomenal it was, breathtakingly beautiful, and such an emotional, good time to watch. And this is why I think this one should have won the Oscar instead of Big Hero 6, because I like this a little bit more better than Big Hero 6, Lego Movie, and even Book of Life, because How to Train Your Dragon 2 truly was the cinematic masterpiece that I loved. In 2015, Pixar came back with not just one movie, but two movies. One of them was okay, but the other one was so magnificent, and that is Inside Out. I cannot believe of how creative and so good this movie was. It's so magnificent that I went to go see it in theaters 3 times because of how good it was. Funny, enjoyable, emotional, something so creative, and I think Pete Docter, the man who made Up and Monsters Inc., that did such a phenomenal job. And I just hope that his next movie, Soul, could prove that he can still make great movies, and seeing that he could become one of the best Pixar directors next to Lee Unkrich, Brad Bird, and him as number 1. That's all I'm going to say. In 2016, there was this one movie that many people thought it was just going to be a little thing before Moana came out. But when looking at this movie, I feel like Christmas came early because of this one, and that is Zootopia. This movie surprises the hell out of me when I first saw it. It was spectacular, amazing, the message, what the movie was trying to tell us, and everything what that film has done is just so magnificent. And I watch it every time, and I'm still surprised of how good this movie is. And definitely one of the best Disney movies from the Disney eras of 2010. Along with Frozen and Tangled, this is still a pretty dang solid good movie. And if you have not seen Zootopia, then I highly recommend you watch this movie because this is one movie that you'll want to try everything with this movie. And I graduated high school, and Pixar does release a movie during the summer. And I thought that summer movie that Pixar released was pretty okay until this one came in November. And oh my god, such a fantastic movie. Coco. I really did enjoy this movie for how it was. Explaining a lot about the Day of the Dead, and so memorable of how good the characters are, some of the songs, and such beautiful animation. It's so magnificent. And a good second film directed by Lee Unkrich. And I really love this movie for how it was. And I still cry in that one ending of the movie because of how so phenomenal and the way how it's executed is just so magnificent. Amo esta película mucho. As I'm recording this, it's almost going to be 1 year since this movie came out. And that was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, this was the best animated film of 2018, hands down. The great introduction of Miles Morales, the way how the characters are into the Spider-Verse, like you got Spider-Man, you got Gwen Stacy, you got Spider-Noir, Spider-Ham, Penny Parker, all these great characters, and making into something so magnificent. And I give thanks to Sony Pictures Animation Studios for making something so magnificent. And thank you for giving us as an apology for that stupid emoji movie. So, this was something so magnificent, and truly was the one that was saved for last. Because the other animated films like Incredibles 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Isle of Dogs, they were pretty good, but I think Spider-Man to Spider-Verse beats it by 100% of how good this movie was. And this is why I love Spider-Man, because of this movie. I think it's safe to say that this is pretty much my favorite movie of 2019 for animation. I used to say How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World was my favorite, but until when Frozen 2 came out, and it surprised me the most. I really think this movie was better than the first one, with its better story, better animation, amazing characters, and such memorably good songs. And I really did like Frozen 2 for how it was. I really liked the sister relation between Anna and Elsa even more. The songs are really good, and the way how it goes to a darker tone in this movie, it really reminds me this is Disney's version of How to Train Your Dragon 2. And there's going to be a debate of who's going to win the Oscar for 2020, but I'm giving my money to Frozen 2 because this proves that why I love this movie. And so much that Disney should feel proud for what they've done with this one. And I thank you, Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck, for making something so phenomenal that I won't stop loving this movie for no matter what. So that was my top favorite movies of the 2010 eras, with Toy Story 3, Kung Fu Panda 2, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Inside Out, Zootopia, Coco, Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, and Frozen 2. And I just hope that in the 2020 eras, we do get some good animated films. I do hope maybe Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks, who knows if Sony's going to do good, and I just hope they all do good for animation, for what we can expect from them. And comment down, let me know what are your top 10 favorite movies of the 2010 eras. Let me know, and as always, have a good day.